Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so very excited to share this recipe with you guys. I think I finally have managed to perfect this jollof recipe to my liking. My brother, it was his first time trying jollof after I made this, and he very much enjoyed it. He actually went in for seconds. I hope you guys enjoy, and again, ingredients will be down below. If there was any recommendations or suggestions that you guys have, please don't come at me. Alright, so first things first, always, as you can see, my bell peppers and what have you, everything is just prepared and spices are laid out so that you can just kind of go. But first thing I'm going to do is very roughly chop up half of my onion, the other half I'm going to puree, which I'll show you. So once that's chopped up, I'm going to take all my bell peppers, my ginger, my scotch bonnet, the other half of the red onion, ginger, and 2 cloves of garlic, and then I will go ahead and puree. And as you can see, I'm actually doing this in batches because I don't have a bigger blender. I'm just using my little Ninja, so of course if you have a bigger one, this will go faster. The last thing I'm going to throw in there is a scotch bonnet. You can actually use 2. I could have managed the spice with 1, but my brother was like, it was a bit much for him. But I would not say to skip out on this because it is a crucial part of making jollof. You want that little kick. Okay, now we put the puree aside. I'm taking my chopped onions. You see I've got it super roughly chopped. Don't worry too much about it. Once your onions look translucent enough, you're going to go ahead and add your tomato paste. And for the tomato paste, the one thing I'm going to say, it is a bit bitter, so you want to make sure that you properly fry it at this point with the onion, so don't rush this step. So about 4 to 5 minutes later, it should be looking like this. Now we get to go ahead and add the puree that we made into the mix. It can splatter, so go ahead and add the lid onto this and cook it for about 8 to 10 minutes to make sure that all the water is absorbed. Taking the rice that we had put aside, I'm just gonna put that through the strainer to make sure all the water is taken out. At this point, I still have my lid on. I'm now, in order to add the rice, I'm taking it out because it is gonna splatter loads. Before adding the rice, I'm taking my spices and dumping that in there. So that's the salt to taste, the bouillon, the red pepper, the thyme leaves, and I believe that's it. Oh, and last thing, the bay leaves. So I have about 4 to 5 pieces. All right, so now that everything, spices and everything is in there, lastly, we're gonna throw in the rice. Okay, very important. I'm gonna add chicken bone broth stock in here. So last time I believe I opted to vegetable stock and that did not taste as good. So I highly recommend you don't skip this step and add about 2 cups of this. So I put aside my Ninja cup. I'm just adding a little bit of water to make sure that all the puree, as much as I can, gets thrown into the rice to cook with. As far as how much water you should add, I would say not too much, not too little, just a little bit above the rice. Okay, and then I'm taking a piece of aluminum foil, and you want the dull side down, shiny side up, but we will place that on our lid because we're basically at this point going to use the steam of the pot to cook our rice. And at this point, keep your flame on very low, and I want to say I gave this about 20 minutes and then I came back to check on it, but keep it on low, and then I'll let you know the last 10 minutes we're going to bump up the heat. Okay, at this point I'm just checking to see how we're doing, and at this point it's nowhere near being cooked, and this is absolutely unnecessary. I'm just messing with it for no reason. but we're gonna put the lid back on and check back in 10 more minutes. And like I mentioned, I'm cranking up the heat to this for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so last time we check on it, after that 10 minutes, looks pretty good to me. And now we're gonna keep that heat on very low, and I'm gonna work on making a side of plantains. So pretty self-explanatory if you've worked with plantains before, but I'm somewhat scoring it to make the peeling process easier. Just keep in mind to get a bit riper, a ripe plantain, because it is much tastier. I made a mistake last time and I got a green one because it was my first time, and it turned out super hard. And of course here there's various ways of cutting it, but I chose the somewhat diagonal. So while we wait for the oil to heat up, I'm just gonna salt my plantains very lightly before throwing it in the pan. With your heat being on medium to high, you don't want each side to be on there for more than 2 to 3 minutes. And there we have it. Thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in with me. I hope you guys give it a go. It's super yummy. Until next time.